Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back. How you guys doing today? So we got a little bit of a show for everybody. I'm starting out a little bit earlier than what I intended to get through the podcast today. I got some other things that I need to get done. So, anyways, welcome. So we're gonna be covering a little bit of news. Obviously, we're gonna dive a little bit more into the iPhone 12 mini and why I feel like that this is going to be, one of the big sellers from Apple this year. So we got Jose already in here. Good morning. How's it going, Caleb? Good afternoon, Tito. Casting greetings this morning, but good day to you, gentlemen. How you guys doing today? We're gonna talk a little bit about the iPhone 12 mini. So not the Pro Max, and all that. We're just gonna talk about the 12 mini and why I feel like this is gonna be a big seller for Apple. We're also gonna talk a little bit about the OnePlus 8T and just kind of like kick it into the Pixel 5 and something that I noticed. And this was from Sneed's live stream yesterday that I noticed when he was live streaming from the Pixel 5 when it comes to video and focus, something that happens in the background. And I try to get everyone to confirm it, but we'll see what happens. And if this is something that I'm going to see a lot of. So I'm going to be looking closely at videos that are demoed from the Pixel 5. But anyways, guys, just to show you guys something pretty cool, sneak peek. But this is actually something that I put together, after, because I was asked, like, what's going to happen after October's over? Like, are you still going to be using that creepy Halloween thingy or whatever? I'm like, no, I got something in mind. And so I put that together. So just, we'll kick off the show starting with this. But I just wanted to share my it's not really creative. Anyways, here it is. All right, so let's first go off into the Pixel 5 and just kind of discuss that, like literally what's up with the Pixel 5 and its focusing issue that I noticed. I noticed this issue yesterday when I was watching Sneed's live stream. He was live streaming from his Pixel 5, and the video quality looked good. I got to give it up. The video quality looked good, so there's no complaints there. For a lot of people who are like, it's probably going to be trash or whatever, whatnot, I beg to differ. It's the video quality is kind of impressive. As a matter of fact, shout out to Latrell. He's been giving me some insight, of his thoughts with the Pixel 5 as well. So a lot of people who have the Pixel 5 have been feeding me a lot of information. This is a pretty, pretty awesome community to do that. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. You like that? Cool. I'm glad you guys like it. Yo, the force is strong with you, Baby Yoda. What's going on? Baby Yoda up in here. Isaac Diaz. Isaac, what's up? So, in regards to that, what I've noticed, and you guys can, go back and check this out afterwards. Go to Sneed's live stream from yesterday. Check that out. The moment where, he's sitting down on the couch and he's trying to get in contact with Carlos, right? Because Carlos had called him a couple of times. He missed his call. So he tried calling him back and he was like calling all these different numbers that Carlos has. There's a point where, he gets up from the couch and walks out of view of the shot, right? So you see that the Pixel's camera is trying to reset the focus, right? Because obviously it was focusing on him as the primary subject. But what I noticed is like from where he's sitting at and he gets up and he leaves, all around for a split second as the focus blurs and then refocuses back, you see a bunch of noise that happens on the side. And I was like, I wonder if that's from my end, right? Maybe it's my internet connection. Maybe it's something like that. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, maybe it's possibly that. So, I'm thinking, okay, I grab a different device. I was watching on my Pixel 4. I grab my tablet and start watching a live stream from my tablet. And, he comes back into shot. He comes back into the view. He's sitting down. He's, talking again, but still trying to get a hold of, Carlos. And again, after, he tries, he gets up from the couch again and he leaves. The moment he gets out of the view shot, the focus blurs again for a second and then it, refocuses. But while it refocuses, there's a bunch of noise like around the shot. And I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, that's twice that it's happened. So, I've reached out to several people that I know that have the Pixel 5 and asked them to test this out and see if this is actually just an issue with all Pixel 5s. Is it something that maybe happened just because of the live stream itself? Those are a lot of questions that I have, because if this is something that basically happens when recording video with the Pixel 5, this may slightly be an issue that a lot of people are going to look at, if they spot it. It's not really that hard to catch, but if you're not looking for flaws in video from the Pixel 5, you're not going to recognize it. But if you are looking for flaws, you'll see it. And that's what I was doing initially. When he had said that he was streaming from the Pixel 5, I was like, okay, let me see what the video can do with the Pixel 5. And so I was actually looking to see if there's any type of flaws. If maybe like, the focus was bad, when you were like moving from subject to subject, I was looking for those kind of things. And I spotted that. It's really weird. Like, you have to, like, when you look at the back shot where, the wall in Sneed's, I guess I'll call it the man cave or the Sneed cave. When you look at the Sneed cave and you see like his wall, look around it when he moves out of shot and you'll see a little distortion, like noise, that happens for a brief second. I've noticed that. And I didn't know if anybody else did. So catching up here. Yeah, we got Caleb, yeah. Let's see. Riverdale Tales, iPhone 12 mini looks dope. However, it's another useless upgrade, but nope, nonetheless. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We'll talk a little bit about that. So I'm just like, I'm kind of worried about that. So I'm hoping I get the Pixel 5 or Pixel 4a 5G. I believe they use the same camera sensor. So I want to test that theory out when I get those phones. But I'm hoping that was just because of the live stream or something like that. That would actually be some sort of annoyance if you're recording video. So, lots of things to look into. Gene, good morning, good sir. How's it going? Yeah, it was just something I was like kind of concerned about. I actually said that on Gene's live stream last night. I don't know if anyone caught the replay. Gene went live yesterday. He had me, Wolfer, and Latrell on there. We were just all chit chatting or whatever. And I'd made that statement. I talked about it. That I noticed that. And when I had put it in the chat, I don't know if anyone else seen my chat on Sneed's live stream last night, and maybe they didn't see it, or I don't know if maybe people were trying to catch it. No one responded back. No one saw it, or no one said they saw it, or whatever. I was trying to get other people's point of view, see if they seen it on their end when watching. But I don't know. But anyways, if you guys want to know exactly what I'm talking about, towards the end of his live stream before it cuts off, just like replay Sneed's live stream. Towards the end, before it cuts off, when he's trying to get in contact with Carlos, watch when he moves out of shot. When he walks away from the couch, the focus tries to reset, and then watch around on the Sneed cave wall, and you'll see a little, noise. Kind of like, I don't know, let me see if I can replicate it. So you see how, like, when I turn my light off right now, because of my Chromebook's camera is not the best in quality. I don't know if you guys see it, like all this noise right here, like in the dark areas. It looks like that. And yeah, just try and see if you guys can spot that. That's kind of not too good. I mean, that's going to be bad when it comes to the Pixel 5. That's going to be pretty bad. I am hoping that that's not something that's going to be a constant thing with it. Can it be fixed with software? Who knows? If that's a hardware issue or whatnot. I know that they're still using the hold on one second. I gotta take this call. Hold on. The wife calling me. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's totally gonna suck. Where I was going with this? Yeah, they use the same camera sensor, right? They use the same camera sensor they use in the Pixel 4. So I'm also trying to see if I can replicate that with the Pixel 4. But I'm not entirely sure. Can it be fixed with software? I don't know. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning. How you doing? Hopefully you slept well. And again, thank you for staying an extra 20 minutes on Gene's live stream last night. I know you were tired, and I really appreciate you hanging out with us a little bit longer. Um, so hopefully you slept well. And big shout out to your hubby, missing links. Tell him we said what's up. Um, yeah, I'm just really concerned about the Pixel 5 doing that. I haven't seen it in anybody else's video. I've seen some video demos from the Pixel 5. I've seen them already. Um, I had footage sent where I could check out, like, the audio, the clarity of the video. It looks really good. It looks really good compared to, like, video that I've taken by my Pixel 4 and what I've seen from it. So I'm just thinking, like, I don't know. I'm just kind of a little bummed out. you know uh of course, when we like a specific brand of phones or whatever, we want them to be absolutely perfect, but there's no such thing as a perfect phone, you know what I mean? So even if there is some sort of issues with the video itself on the Pixel 5s. Hopefully that can be corrected. Maybe it is a software issue, so it can be patched with software. If it's hardware, if it has to do with the camera sensor itself, this is going to kind of prove my point to Google why they need to invest in going in a much more upgraded camera sensor instead of using the same one they've been using on the Pixel 4 and on the Pixel 3a. Well, let's step it up and go. That's what they need to do. Okay, let's see. Catch up with comments here. Hi to all. Let's see. You're doing good? That's great. Great to know. See, the camera might be a software problem. It might be. Hopefully. I need the Pixel 6 to get here. We got another 10 and a half months before we start seeing all the stuff pop up with the Pixel 6. We got another 10 and a half months. So we got some ground to cover, man. We got some ground to cover. MRIC Maldonado. What's up, bro? How's it going? Glad you could be here. So yeah, just be able to look at that. When you see like other Pixel 5 reviews and they start going into the video, when they start talking about the focus, if they do actually talk about the focus, then watch their screen and see that when they move from a subject to another subject and the focus tries to recenter itself, watch around. It's not where the focus is at. So like if it's focused like on this microphone and then you move to this, it's not going to be like right there. It's going to be around, like kind of like not on the border of the frame shot, but just kind of like this, where I'm like emphasizing like that right there. I probably look weird. Someone could turn this into a meme. Be like, what the hell is he doing? I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Maybe with the Pixel 6, maybe they will switch from the current camera sensor that they're using inside their Pixels and move to a much better one. Because that's the other big fear about the Pixel 5, and a lot of people are calling out Google with this, and that is the fact is that others are catching up. The whole thing of king of still photography, the belt right now used to be around the Pixel's waist firmly, but now you got other companies with their hands on the belt ready to take it away from the Pixel. And I have to agree with that statement. Sure, there's a lot that happens, you know what I mean? With the iPhone event and how they talked about how the image is processed, what it goes through with the A14 Bionic chip is pretty much nearly the same type of path that photos go with on Pixels. When you snap that photo, from the moment you snap that photo to the moment you go in the Photos app and check the photo and you see how it's processed, it goes through the same type of path. So yeah, let's see. Hold on one sec. Sorry, my daughter had a question. But anyways, so iPhones have great camera sensors and Pixel needs to catch up. That I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna go ahead and say, because the Pixels have been using the same camera sensor for like the past 3, 4 generations, and it's time to move to a better sensor. Every other manufacturer is catching up. It's catching up. This is one of those things where, like, if they catch up, then I'm gonna stick my foot firmly in the Pixel's butt, because when you have a lead, you want to maintain that lead. You don't want to let everyone catch up. I started feeling like they were letting everyone catch up. Like when you had the iPhone come out with night mode, you had OnePlus come out with their night, photography. Everyone's catching up with night photography, and I was like, okay, now there's nothing that really sets the Pixel apart from the competitors out there. So them utilizing the same camera sensor in the last 3 generations was like a pretty boneheaded move. And now they're seeing the suffering of it because others are coming out, and their photography, their photo image processing is catching up. They will. A tip to have a new camera sensor in a Pixel 6 that works with their White Chappelle AI chip. Yeah, definitely. That I'm like, okay, you know what? And maybe it could be a tease. Maybe they're letting everyone catch up, and then all of a sudden the Pixel 6 drops, and they just they widen the gap again. Maybe that's what they're doing, right? Who knows? I'm just hoping that that's exactly what they do. And that White Chappelle chip, man, yeah, I was looking more into that. So next week I'm gonna actually talk more about that. Tito, I saw the distortion towards the end. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Towards the end of Sneed's live stream, you see that when he gets out of shot of the Pixel 5 to try and get a hold of Carlos, you see that distortion that happens. And I'm like, oh, man, I was totally bummed to see that. You know what I mean? Should I get a Pixel or a Samsung Galaxy SE? I'd say go with the phone that you feel like is going to resonate with you more. With me, I like Pixels. I like stock Android. I like the photography experience I get from it. So I will go with Pixel. If you think that the Galaxy Fan Edition is much more better for you because of the specifications that it has and what you need out of a phone, how you use your phone, then go with Samsung. I mean, they're both priced at the same price. You know what I mean? You got to understand that if you go with the Pixel 5, just about everything is good about it so far from everyone that's giving me feedback. All these great Team Pixel guys that are giving me feedback. Things are great about it. There are certain things that you will feel that are a little bit lackluster because of that 765 processing chip inside of it, right? Like Sneed said yesterday, like, everything was good about it, but when he recorded a video and edited on his Pixel 5, that's where he noticed that it's stressed a little bit more because that chip is not as powerful as the 865, which is found in the Galaxy Fan Edition. So you got to look at what your needs are with a phone, but they're on the same price. So one has stock Android, one has One UI. There's variables to it. Carlos is in here. All Androids been having focus issues on video, period. And even my Moto Edge Plus got update and now has focus issues. I'm surprised Pixels got the same update, but yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that it has it too. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You got to call it out. You can't sugar wash it and throw it underneath the rug or whatever, whatnot. Hope no one finds it. Someone's gonna find it. You know what I mean? Like if I got the Pixel 5 right now and I was using that to make videos like I used to make videos before, guaranteed people are gonna see that. Now I want to know if that was done if it was done with the selfie cam, the front facing camera, or if it was done with the main camera. I'm assuming that Sneed had the main camera recording him on the live stream. It'd be weird to use the selfie cam and just have the resolution and everything kind of dumbed down. It's always best to have the main camera, like, the main camera itself recording or live streaming for you. And I believe that's what he was doing because he was using another phone to read comments. So I'm assuming that. Do you know what the channel bandwidth was on those? Okay. Question to Carlos on that. iPhone somehow seem to have the best picture and video quality. I don't know why. Their picture quality is good. I've always been a firm believer in the fact that Pixels has done better. I know that iPhone has caught up, and this year's iPhone 12s are looking really dang good. That's why I'm talking about this whole gap that's been closed between competition when it comes to still photography with Pixels and other competition. It used to be kind of a gap, you know what I mean? And it used to be where the focus was just like Pixels were good for photos, iPhones superior in video, but now that gap is kind of closed. But we'll see what happens with next year's Pixel 6, the processing chip that they have that they're actually building, they're working on building. So it'll be a dedicated chip, no longer going with Qualcomm. And then we'll see what happens with all these things that they're implementing into the Pixels. A lot of this stuff is going to be talked about next week. I know it's really kind of early to start talking about the Pixel 6 when there's like a year till then, and lots of things can change between now and then. But we're going to already start talking about the Pixel 6 and some of the things that's going to be brought to it, because the Pixel 6 is going to be a defining moment for the Google Pixels and changing directions again. The Pixel 5, I feel like, is like whitewash. Okay. Like a lot of people were just really jacked and pissed off because they didn't go full out, balls to the wall flagship. And like I said, they're going into they're targeting a different demographic. They're no longer targeting the big techies out there. They're no longer targeting those that just only buy flagships and nothing beneath that. They're going after a different demographic. But also at the same time too, I feel like the Pixel 5 was more of like a throwaway thing, right? Like, okay, word's already out there that we're developing our own processing chip. The Pixel 6, we already said, is going to be the one that actually has this chip inside of it. So this year we'll just make the Pixel 5, underneath $800. We're gonna throw this in it and just put it out there. You know what I mean? It's not like they just like scrapped everything together and just tossed it out there, because they still took some time to put this thing together. They, I don't know. I guess the way that I'm gonna say it, I call it pretty junk. So it's junk, but it's pretty. You know what I mean? Like they still took their time to put this thing together and give it out there, so it would be usable and likable to an extent. But it's not like that they completely focused on the Pixel 5, the 4A 5G, the 4A, and just put something dramatically like where the gates of heaven parted open and these phones just came floating to you. It wasn't in that sense. Um, are they still tremendous phones? Yes, they are. There's more to the Google Pixels than just the cameras. The experience and other things that you get with it, the security with the Titan M chip, all these things kind of play, and they play well with their own ecosystem. And that's one of the big top things in my book when it comes to the Pixels. Let's see, T-Mobile rabies. iPhone 12 is going to be the best smartphone of this year. Those comments are perception and perception alone. Other people will say the Samsung Galaxy Fan Edition is best phone of the year. Others will say the OnePlus 8T is best phone of the year. Everyone has their idea best phone of the year. You can take 5 phones, put it in a room, and make them compete. They're not all going to have the same level of things. Some are going to be weak in certain areas. Some are going to be definitely stronger in certain areas. That's the name of the game. If there was going to be one perfect phone, all companies would just completely go away because they would not beat it. And then everyone would flock to that one company. It was a brief distortion. The video quality was superb though. Yeah, the video quality, I give it to them. I say it. The video quality impressed me, but it was that moment, the out of focus and everything, distortion. And like Carlos said, a lot of Androids suffered that, but it's just surprisingly to see that happen on the Pixel 5. But still, nonetheless, I mean, if you're going to shoot video, you're really going to have to get in there. Like, see, for that, there's also another factor that plays into that. The fact was that Sneed was streaming from it. You know what I mean? He didn't have someone behind the phone tweaking with the settings or anything like that, or adjusting the tripod to try to dissolve that issue. So those are several things. By the way, today's beverage of choice, as always, is green tea. I love green tea, and yeah, I challenged Josh Vergara, Mr. I'm going to do videos about tea and how it can help with diabetics, and never did any videos. Mr. Filipino Sir out there, I challenge you. I'm playing. Please don't, because then Josh Vergara will probably I don't know. That camera distortion is just Sneed transmorphing into the Hulk mode. My hubby just texted me this. Took me a few. A priest, a minister, and a rabbit walk into a blood bank. The receptionist asked the rabbit, "Do you know your blood type?" The rabbit says, typo. I'm a typo. Oh my god. Joke of the day goes to Kathy. Thanks. You're welcome. I mean, I say all the time. All right, let's catch up with these comments here. Did anyone watch on Periscope the Verizon 5G real event I did? I didn't even know you did that on there. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't even know that you did that on there. Like I said, I usually wake up, get my kids ready for the day for online virtual school, and then get ready to set up for the podcast. So I haven't seen anything, haven't gone on Periscope or nothing like that yet. I'm going to Sarasota, Florida this weekend for some Verizon millimeter wave testing. We'll do Periscope. Nice. Nice, definitely looking forward to that. Okay, yeah. So with all that, like I said, I'm still waiting. I've gotten no confirmation from Google if they accepted my application for a review unit yet. Um, like I said, I don't know. My wife keeps telling me stop being pessimistic, because I'm like, okay, I inquired about getting a review unit, whether the Pixel 5 or 4a5G. They responded back to me and gave me a form to fill out requesting the review unit. Latrell actually done this in the past before, so he gave me some insight on it. He says, "Yeah, you'll know when you're getting it because the day before the phone arrives, they will email you with all the FedEx information, and the next day the device should arrive." So I'm like checking my email to see like if someone says, "Hey, your Pixel 5 is on the way for review" or something like that, because I really like now with all these things that I'm seeing about the Pixel 5, I want to get it in my hand so I can start doing some like just some massive testing with the phone. Like I want to put it through its paces. Like a lot of people, everyone's on the fence about it. It's like those are like it's trash, it's garbage because they didn't go like full flagship specifications. Other people are like, it's great, it's tremendous, it's awesome, it's amazing. I have faith in it that it's a great device, and that sometimes people need to close their eyes to what's on black and white spec sheets and just actually use the phone and get a feel for like the user interaction itself. But now I want the phone in my hand so I can actually go and do it, because there are people who will like, they know I'm not going to go and BS anybody about it, and they will look to what I have to say on it. So let's just kind of move away from that and go to the OnePlus 8T. This is a little bit of a different topic here. So let's see. Catch up with these. Look at my Twitter. I shared it. Okay. Remember, good things come to those who wait. Yeah. I'm trying to be patient. Hey, CF, hello. Hello. What's up? What's up? Yeah. So anyways, um, yeah, let's close out the Pixel 5 topic. Let's go into the OnePlus 8T topic. And I know yesterday's live stream was very blah. I'm so sorry about that. I tried to be like enthusiastic and like how I was with the Pixel event or how I was with Apple's event. You know what I mean? Like I tried to be in that mindset, but it was really hard to like the event yesterday was just like I mean, they talked about the OnePlus Nord, and then all of a sudden, like after all that stuff talking about it, including a new color option, then they go and they're like, it's available in India, it's available in Asia, it's available in Europe, and then they tell, if you're a viewer from North America, they tell you be on the lookout for in the future for when the Nord from OnePlus arrives. So it's like, okay, it's not even coming here. But then they went to talk about the OnePlus 8T. And while they mentioned all these good things, I do gotta say for $749 and what you're getting for the OnePlus 8T is actually not bad. It's not bad. And I know OnePlus fans are going to scream out that it totally smashes the Pixel 5. Like this is the normality of the mobile tech space. Is like the Pixel 5 comes out and I jump for joy and I go all excited for it, right? And then iPhone comes out and then iPhone smashes Pixel, and then OnePlus comes out and then OnePlus smashes like the Google Pixels don't really get a break. They're up against everybody. Everyone's just like on them. Like we're totally out to defeat you type of thing. It's crazy. But to be honest with everybody, the OnePlus 8T and the pricing, $749, 256 gigs of internal storage and 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's actually not bad. Not bad at all. What was it? Snapdragon 865G that you get inside there. 4,500 milliamp hour battery, but it's a split cell. So it's not one battery cell that's a 4,500 milliamp. It's actually two 2250 milliamp batteries that are in there, which has to do with the Warp 65 fast charging and the technology that goes into that, being able to fast charge your OnePlus 8T without the phone heating up. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but any device that has fast charging, when you stick it on the fast charger, with the fast charger brick and the cord, after some time, when you feel it, it starts to get a little warm. And OnePlus wants to deduce the heat building within the phone. So they talked about their Warp 65 charging and their past fast charging called Dash, and what the whole purpose of that was. So they built the fast charging technology into the wall brick itself, allowing the output to be able to fast charge your OnePlus without it heating up inside. I mean, they went all out on the event on that, talking about that. They talked about their partnership with Bitmoji and Snapchat. I guess this is OnePlus's way of combating, iOS and Memojis that they have. But these things weren't created by OnePlus; they were created by Bitmoji and Snapchat. So but still giving people that, because there's people who make a big deal about Memojis. Like I've seen that ever since the conception of Memojis, I guess you could say, or inception of Memojis. People who are just straight into it, like, oh yeah, look what my Memoji can do, and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So, um, but anyways, but upon all that stuff that they mentioned, 9to5 Google, who pretty much reported on this. So you guys know I sent my sources. Going to drop this link for you guys if you guys want to click on it and read about it afterwards, or save it for reading material later. You could do that. Anyway, so OnePlus ditches Facebook bloatware on the 8T and feature phones following user backlash. So this is one of those times where a company actually listens to its fan base. So following the launches of the OnePlus Nord and OnePlus 8 series, it was made apparent that the company was pre-installing Facebook bloatware on its devices. Now, in a reversal, OnePlus is officially stopping that practice. In case you missed the original story earlier this year, users became aware that OnePlus was pre-installing some Facebook apps on its phones. Specifically, it was the OnePlus 8, 8 Pro, and the Nord. The former two being the company's most expensive phones to date. Many of the user-facing apps from Facebook could be removed, but some behind-the-scenes services could not, and those could send data to the social media giant. Obviously, the OnePlus community was not happy about the revelation, and likely they even lost some customers over it. So again, going back to the bloatware, going to Facebook. Facebook is just one of those ones, you know what I mean? And I can kind of relate with OnePlus customers who are like absolutely upset with OnePlus and these Facebook bloatwares, because and this kind of brings me back to the days of Boost Mobile. You know, there were certain Boost Mobile phones that I bought when I was reviewing a lot of Boost Mobile phones, and these phones had Facebook apps pre-installed. So I'm talking about Facebook Messenger, and Instagram was pre-installed. You could not uninstall them if you didn't want to use them to free up space. The most you can do was disable them. They were still there though, and there are still services within. Like if you go into app settings and you look through all the apps, there were certain Facebook settings that were in there that were active that could not be disabled. And when you force stop them, they just reopened. And yes, they were transmitting data. Bloatware is one of the things that a lot of people don't like, especially on Android. They don't like it. iPhones never have bloatware, so you can't ever be like, well, there's some iPhones that install. No, I've heard people try to use that argument, and I always wondered where they get their information from. iOS never has bloatware because Apple will never allow bloatware on their iPhones. This statement that comes out from those who are Apple fanatics, that statement is true. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, OnePlus ditches Facebook bloatware. I'm like, why would they even put bloatware to begin with? Like OnePlus was a fast growing smartphone manufacturer, fast growing, really quick, grew pretty quick in popularity to where it is right now. When you look back from the original OnePlus and then come all the way to right now and just see the popularity growth in it, the top the top mentioned phones today when it comes into mobile technology is Samsung, iPhone, Pixels, OnePlus, and then occasionally LG and Motorola. LG and Motorola, like Motorola's above LG. We'll sort of like that. But anyways, so OnePlus is very recognized. To see that they even did that, because I didn't know they did that. I really didn't have much of an interest in the OnePlus 8 or the OnePlus 8 Pro. So I didn't really look more into it to see. But apparently they installed a Facebook bloatware. That's a real dumb move for them to do. So yeah, of course they need to go and take that off. All right, Isaac, see you later. I'm debating on getting Pixel or OnePlus. I have a Galaxy S9, but want something a little cheaper and easier to use. Oh, I mean, well, let's see here. Really, what's your price range? Because the OnePlus AT is pretty solid. you're getting more storage than the Pixel 5 if storage matters to you. You're getting a slightly bigger battery on the OnePlus 8T than you do on the Pixel 5, and yeah, there's all these extra additional features in the OnePlus 8T that if you're one that likes these what I call gimmicky features, then yeah, that is $50 more than the Pixel 5. The 5 is six ninety nine. The OnePlus 8T is $749, about $50 more. So really, what's your poison? That's really what it comes down to. I mean, at the end of the day, the Pixels are marketed, and I say I basically ride for them only for the fact that it's basically pure stock Android. No influence of, well, this is what I would have wanted stock Android to be. Like, no, it's just straight stock Android. So that's that. In my opinion, LG would be higher on that list if they just advertised. Yes, if they just advertised, and like reclaim the mid-range market, because they were doing solid. LG was doing solid back in the day. Like the Volt series, I like the LG Volt series. And then when they switched it over to the X Charge series, um, was it the X Charge or what was it called? Oh, the X Power. Well, the X series, the LG X series, those were nice. And then they just stopped doing that. The stylo, everyone called it the poor man's Galaxy Note, but I don't really care. The fact is you had a phone with, with decent specifications that had a stylus, with it. So you didn't have to go $1,000 with a Galaxy Note to have a stylus with the phone. I mean, sure, you can go to Walgreens to buy one of those fat, cheap styluses with a very soft, punchy tip. But I mean, yeah, it's not the same. I'll debate the Pixel 5 and 8T. Looks like the 8T for me. Yeah, the 8T has a little bit more features in it. It's got OnePlus's features in it. It's got things like game mode. So when you actually toggle that on, the Oxygen OS has it set to where it can just like reroute power to go towards gaming. Obviously, with the if like playing Fortnite is a big thing for you and you want to play it in like 90 frames per second, the OnePlus is going to handle that. The 120 hertz flat display, because it does have that. Some people are like really just kind of boasting for that 120 hertz refresh, but yeah, they brag about the fact that with them partnering up with, I think it's Epic Games, they were able to actually play Fortnite in 90 hertz refresh, and they were comparing it to game consoles, because game consoles can only play it in 60 frames, or 60 frames refresh rate. So those are some of the things. So if OnePlus 8T is the way to go for you, then hey, give it a try. You know what I mean? I was like, later, and here's the thing too: if you get the OnePlus 8T, and then a couple of months of using it, you kind of don't like it, you got options. You can sell it and then get the Pixel 5, or you hold on to the OnePlus 8T, and then when the Pixel 5 goes cheaper in price, you can buy that, because it will. We got deals going on. They had early Black Friday, which was Best Buy's way of combating against Amazon with Amazon Prime Day. So, and then next month, obviously, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, basically in-store and online massive sales to kickstart the Christmas stuff or whatever. Let's see. I'm sorry, I keep asking questions. Don't apologize for asking questions. That's why I'm here, and everybody else in the chat is here. I want a good camera too. Well, I mean, I saw some of the stuff that because like I said, like the event was just so lackluster that I literally skipped like a big chunk of the OnePlus 8T's event online. It was just that guy that looked like Matthew Santoro was just, you know what I mean? All right, Caleb, appreciate you for stopping in here and hanging out with us, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Especially since it's Friday Junior. Today's Thursday, so yeah, tomorrow's Friday and it's the weekend after that. But anyways, oh man, I forgot. I got a wedding to go to this Saturday. I hope I got something to wear. We'll figure it out. Anyways, but it does have some additional features to the camera that's not in like in like the Pixels or other devices. I mean, yeah, they just had these really weird things that they were doing with it. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, and then also the partnership with Snapchat. But I mean, obviously, if you watch the OnePlus 8T event, You'll see what I'm talking about. It's got some funny things you can do with the cameras. So if photography to the extent of like not only just taking a good quality photo is something on your right up your alley, but if you like to also play around with things like filters and things like that to kind of change the dynamics or whatever of the photo, yeah, you'll be able to do that. Um, so yeah, I mean, $749. Hey, why not? You know what I mean? Uh, whew. All right. Let's switch tracks right now and just go into why I feel that the iPhone 12 mini is going to be a top seller out of Apple's lineup this year. And I know like the diehard Apple fanatics are gonna, they're gonna say no to it, and they're gonna be like, oh no, 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 no. The iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max is gonna like, sell absolutely well. Um, I think the iPhone 12 mini is definitely gonna sell well. Just before going into this article that's also agreeing with me on this, um, I'll share my thoughts. The reason I feel like the iPhone 12 mini is going to sell is because you got to look at the trend that's happening for this year and this year alone. Okay. So we go way back to January of 2020, all the way up until current point. It's the goal and the thing that is most focused on by tech enthusiasts, by the tech eyes, by is everybody has been price. Okay. When what was it? When TCL came out with their devices, right? The TCL 10 Pro, the TCN 10L, and all these other TCL devices, everybody was like, okay, you're getting all this in this TCL phone at this price. The price is what was focused on. When Apple released the iPhone SE 2020, everyone was like, "Oh, this is going to be the phone of the year because it's a $400 iPhone with the most current chip offered by Apple." So you had the A13 Bionic in it. You had all these things, but with the older form factor from like the iPhone 6 up to the iPhone 8. So they reused that body style. They had wireless charging, I believe someone said, and IP, water dust resistant certification, all these things, right? And it was $400. Again, they were saying it was going to be phone of the year because of price. Massive articles ripping Google apart because they were like, "Where's the 4A? Where's the Pixel 4A? The Pixel 4A needs to be here. The Pixel 4A, this and that, right?" And then we started getting leaked information about specifications, and everyone's like, "Oh no, the iPhone SE 2020 completely beat the Pixel 4A." But then when the Pixel 4A was announced in a 3-second ad on YouTube and it was available to purchase, it was $349, and everyone switched up. It was no longer like, "Oh, okay, the iPhone SE 2020 beats this automatically," because now they were like, you get all this for $350. And the iPhone, SE 2020, you get it for $400. And then they started comparing, well, the Pixel 4a has a newer look. It retains the newer modern day, smartphone design, and the iPhone had to go back to an older design. Like these were the arguments or the debates that was being said online. So this year, it's always been about price. Okay. Price is where it's at. Excuse me one moment here, real quick. Just one. So, anyways, so price is the biggest thing this year. That's the main focus. This is why when everyone was crapping on a Pixel 5, like it doesn't have flagship processing chip and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, but they're trying to bring the price down. They're trying to. Pixel 4a 5G. Why did it? What? $499, $500 for it. Price is this year's big thing. It ain't about the processing chip and how powerful it is. It ain't about none of that stuff. It's about price. Price had been number one on the list for everybody, and then it's all the features and stuff that it has packed into it. Okay. Normally, it was always about flagship specifications, flagship chips, right? So on Android side, the latest Qualcomm, that's that, and then on, of course, with the iPhone, it's always their bionic chips. But it was that, and then it was the camera, and then it was, well, the amount of camera sensors and what they can do, and then it was like additional features, and then price, and then battery. That's how it used to be before when you see these debates. Now it's price. Price is it, So This is why I feel like the iPhone 12 mini is going to be a top seller from Apple. Okay, because several things here. One, so the fan base from the Apple community that wasn't for pushing the iPhones to be bigger, right? Because right when that time where they were always hell bent on keeping their display 3.99, which is basically 4 inches, on the iPhone 5 and 5S, when they switched it up with the iPhone 6, it went to a 4.7 inch display and then created a plus version that was 5.5 inches. There were still people within the Apple community that were against that. But obviously, they had no control. They don't build the phone. So every iteration after that was that same until it switched up when the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10 came out, which unveiled the notch and Face ID, a new biometric security for Apple. And then now it's Face ID all the way. So the iPhone 12 mini brings down the size form factor of the iPhone while retaining a larger display for viewing, for gaming, for that type of stuff. Like it's not a drastic huge, it's not a 6.1 inch display. Got you there. It's like what, 5.47 inches? Still not bad. Almost to the same size as what the display size was for the plus sizes in the generations of the 6 to the 8. Retaining a small size. Okay. I was wrong. It's not as small as the iPhone SE 2016. It's a bit bigger than that, but it is smaller than the iPhone 10. It's probably like this, like a little bit smaller than the iPhone 7, I think, as far as the body form factor. Um, but of course, the screen size is going to be bigger because it has the notch for Face ID. So you're going to get a larger display. Of course, you have that notch in there, which some people were upset that the notch is there. But there's that. Of course, 64 gigs starting out. That's the starting out storage space. There are some people who are upset about that, but there are a lot of people within the Apple community who invest in the Apple ecosystem. So they've already subscribed to getting like 128 gigs of iCloud storage or 512 gigs of iCloud storage, whatever the top amount is, because they've been doing it previously than the iPhone 12. See, that's some of the things that people forget. Like they talk about the storage space, 64 gigs, and they're like, okay, that's kind of bad. With the iPhone 12 Pro, it's starting at 128 and up. But you gotta remember, those that are upgrading from like the iPhone 11s or the iPhone 10, 10s or the 10, they have already subscribed to iCloud storage. So the 64 gigs is not burned into their head to saying that that's a limitation that I have on that phone. Because if they're recording video, they're recording, they're taking pictures and stuff like that. Those things can auto back up to their already subscribed iCloud monthly, payment that they pay for the iCloud storage. They already have it, And then, of course, there's other people who actually use Google Photos. So they don't even pay for additional iCloud storage. They have Google Photos and they have it turned on to back up all their photos and videos. And then they do like a wipe every now and then to get rid of the basically the hard file copies of their photos on their iPhone. So they utilize Google Photos. So there's ways around it. But people gotta remember too, like when they go in there and talk about, okay, like, the iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12 starting at 64 gigs, like that's totally trash. It should start at 128 or 256 gigs. Like people that are upgrading to these things already subscribe to a monthly subscription for additional iCloud storage. So they're not really impacted by it. So the storage is not the problem. Okay. Now, the battery. We know that Apple doesn't put huge batteries in their iPhones. They haven't. I don't, someone can argue with me right now about this. I'm going to say, okay, you know what? Shut up. Because, their optimization is good, and that's the reason why they haven't put such big batteries. That's why you don't see, like, you don't hear them saying, okay, the iPhone 12 mini is going to have a 3850 milliamp hour battery. Like, no. I'd be surprised if the mini has a 2915 milliamp or a little under 3000. I mean, iOS is optimized very well, and it plays well with the battery. The iPhone 10s, I've used it. It's got solid battery, but it doesn't have like a super gigantic battery. It doesn't have like a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in it. Yet I can make the iPhone 10s go the entire day with the way that I use it. So, yeah, battery is not going to be a big thing, like a huge thing. Plus, too, like a lot of people, potentially they love to carry their. And I never understood this, but this is for college students. But they love carrying their iPhone chargers, and they don't carry it in their backpack. They hold it in their hand, so they'll have one hand with their iPhone, walking from one class to another, kind of like this, walking and texting or researching something. In their other hand, they have their iPhone charger, and it's like, yeah, no, McDonald's. Um, and they like that. I don't know what's it's so weird. It's the darndest thing. Um, but you know what I mean. But hey, and people carry power banks with them in their cars or times. I mean, people drive cars have power cords in their car connected to a USB port in their car to charge their device. So battery is not a huge issue to some. It's not. But when you have the lineup of the 12 mini, the 12 Pro, and the 12 Pro Max, the 12 mini is the most in savings. You're going to get the same iOS experience across all of them, so you're not missing out there. You literally have almost every camera feature, minus the telephoto lens that's only in the Pro series, and then the Pro series having a slightly, bigger camera sensors, obviously because the Pro in the iPhone this year means pro photography, pro cinematography, because that's where they're really focused at. They're really focused on the cameras this year. There was really nothing absolutely amazing about any of the iPhones. I'm sorry to say this to the iPhone fans. There's nothing absolutely game-changing with these newer iPhones other than what they stepped up in their photography and cinematography. And that's really where the focus was. 5G was the overall focus that it had 5G. Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, my son needed to come in here real quick, and he's about to come back out here in a second. But anyways, I'll get to my point here in a second. I just popped in so that you guys know. Just give me 1 more second. Well, not a second, but a couple of seconds or a minute. My son's awesome. He goes, "Do you want me to close your door?" I'm like, "Yeah, close my door." He closes the door. I'm like, "Thank you." He's like, "You're welcome." As he's walking away. But anyways, photography and cinematography is where they focused at. 5G was the biggest point of the iPhones today. That's really what it was. And then you had, the cinematography and photography. Other than that, there's not really anything else that was, game changing or groundbreaking with these iPhones. And I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying, but all OEMs are at this ceiling point right now where, like, if it's not the pricing, if it's not the add-on features like like MagSafe that the iPhones have, or this thing you could do with the camera with the OnePlus or whatever, it's always photos and features, photos and features, photos and features, camera and features, camera and features. That's really where they're at. They're not really groundbreaking anything. So you're not really losing out anything of not going and going $1,000 route with the Pro series if you opted for the iPhone 12 mini. And then here comes the main thing about it too. People like small things. Small things to them are cute, and I don't know why. Has anyone ever noticed that? Like a guy could take a girl out on a date, right? They can go to a club, not a club, but they could go to a restaurant to eat first before they go to the club, or a night spot for music. And they go and they have something to eat, right? And then someone's like, "Oh yeah, would you like some Tabasco for your food?" And you're like, "Yes, bring me a bottle of Tabasco," right? And people take like a bottle like this size or something like that to dip your hot sauce in. And then they bring you this micro bottle of Tabasco sauce. And they put it down on the table and it stands about that tall. You ever notice that the girl ever looks at it and says, "Oh my gosh, that thing's so cute"? Because it's small. So obviously that's also a big, factor in it, is that it's the mini size. It's smaller. Big enough display to see your videos, to see media, to read articles, to take photos. It's there. you know it's there. And No, and also I do have to correct myself. I said during the iPhone event that it's 64 gigs, starting out at what was it? That was 699 for the iPhone 12 mini, 64 gig model, and then if you go to 128, it was $100 more. I was wrong. It's $50 more. $100 more on the Pro Series, $50 more from that. So if you went iPhone 12 and storage absolutely has to be minimum for you 128 gigs, then you're going to spend $750 for the iPhone 12 mini for 128 gigs, which is pretty much what you would spend for the OnePlus 8T. Um, it's around that range right there. But again, this is iOS, good operating system, very well optimized by Apple with its own hardware. Has to be, or they'd look clownish to the world. And status in life because they hold a phone with the Apple photo on it, which is, to me is kind of ridiculous. Um, and it's smaller. It's smaller. Some people don't like big phones. I am one of them. Like I like using a big phone every now and then when the time feels like it's warranted for a big phone. But I really don't. I mean, normal size Pixel 4, normal size Pixel 2, normal size Pixel 3. Like it's a smaller size, not the XL size. And that's just because I have small hands. My hands are not big. I'm a short person. If you didn't know that, I am just slightly under 5'5". I'm a short person. I'm not tall at all. Um, I have small hands, and so like a Pixel 4 or a Pixel 3 feels like a normal size phone to me. The Pixel XLs feels like a very big phone to me. But to other people, the XLs are normal size phones to them, and if they got something like this, they think it's a toy because they can wrap their hand around it completely, or whatever. I mean, so the Mini has all these things going for it. The Mini is going to work. The Mini is going to sell, and again, also it has a different name. If you notice that, so you have the iPhone 12 Mini. Mini. They didn't decide to call it the iPhone 12, and then what they called the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 Max. They didn't go that route. They went iPhone 12 and then iPhone 12 Mini. And they expected to sell well because they did an entire quick clip presentation of unveiling it, right? So they unveiled the iPhone 12. They talked all about it during the keynote event. And then all of a sudden, they did the James Bond theme. The woman walks into the room. She has a briefcase, and in that briefcase with another briefcase, and in that briefcase with another briefcase. And they opened that little briefcase, and there was the iPhone 12 mini. They made a huge emphasis on it because they know that. It's just like when they did the iPhone 10R, right? So they had the iPhone 10s, the iPhone 10s Max that came out, and then the iPhone 10R. And then they talked about the differences of the iPhone 10R. They emphasized in it. They gave it more color options like the coral color, or what was it? Of course, there's always product red, and then they had like a blue color 10R. They gave it all these things, right? And they focused more on that because while they used lesser, what they considered lesser high quality material for the 10R, it sold well. Actually, it outsold the 10s and the 10s Max. The 10s and 10s Max were like premium gold side steel rails with glass back and glass front, and the 10R wasn't like that. It didn't go that route, and it was sold at what was it, $749 when they sold the 10R, I think it was. And so yeah, and so that's my perception of why. Now let's go over here and figure out why. Let's see. Why Cult of Mac feels that they're gonna do it. And let's see if they hit the same points that I do. Okay, so in their excerpt from their site, it says the iPhone 12 mini is without a doubt the iPhone I'll buy this year. In an upgrade cycle in which I fully expected the iPhone 12 Pro to win me over, the 12 mini emerged as my absolute favorite iPhone on Tuesday at the high-speed event, and perhaps the most anticipated iPhone in years. It's a blend of classic iPhone and modern iPhone. Okay, kind of like what I pointed out there. Those that were like heavy into the classic size being smaller, but with modern day look. The handset I've wanted since Apple devices started growing progressively bigger around the time CEO Tim Cook took the reins at Apple. Here's what makes the iPhone 12 mini so compelling. It goes into it. Let's see. There was this there's something old school about the 12 mini from the moment Apple announced it. The company's slick, socially distanced virtual keynotes aren't short or impressive visuals, but they've not exactly been overflowing with levity. However, the gag with the Russian doll suitcase, the latches on the large one briefcase flipped open to reveal a smaller one inside, which is open to reveal a smaller one. Yeah, so they went on that. Everything you could want on an iPhone with the large iPhone. While a large iPhone is on paper great, I've often hankered for the smaller form factor of their earlier models. I want the phone that can fit easily in my pocket, that doesn't require both hands to use. The iPhone 12 mini, which is a 5.4-inch display, boasts a screen that's almost an inch bigger than the 4.7-inch 2020 iPhone SE handset. But through Apple's extension of the screen to their very edges of the device, it is physically smaller. It's a physically smaller handset. It's still bigger than, say, the iPhone 5, but it's cheerfully compact size nonetheless, or device nonetheless. With the two iPhone SE models, Apple catered to people who wanted a smaller iPhone. However, there was no getting around it. Both of these handsets were lower tier devices that gave a slight tweak to yesterday's tech and packaged it up in something fresh. With the 2020 iPhone SE, there's no edge edge display, there's no Face ID. Not so with the iPhone 12 mini. So they kind of go on that. So the selling points to it, yeah, they kind of like, so yeah, they really targeted the same thing that I said. They're really going on with that. So the same points that I made just by skimming the article real quick is exactly what I said, and why I think the iPhone 12 mini is going to sell, the most. It's the most one people are going to look at. It retains the old identity of Apple's iPhones with the modern Apple iPhone. Face ID, like nearly full display. If but the notch is there. That's the only thing that gets in the way. Curse you, notch. I guess like that. So, and to be quite honest with everybody, I want my Pixel 5. I want my Pixel 5. If I needed to step up to an iOS device for other things that I would use iOS for, the 12 mini is what I would go for. I would totally go for it because my daily driver is a Pixel and Android. I'm always using this more than anything else. I have iPhones in here. I could use iOS. I could be on iOS 14 right now, but I use my Android. There are some things that I would do, like, with the iPhone 12 mini, sure, it doesn't have the same camera sensors as the Pro, but I bet you my last dollar that it's going to record video pretty well. It may not have that third sensor. It may not have that additional features packed into it like the Pro, but for an amateur cinematographer or just a YouTube vlogger, I feel that the iPhone 12 mini and the 12's cameras will suffice for vlogging. I do. So without a shadow of a doubt, I'm just like, the iPhone 12 mini is where I'm going to go. As a matter of fact, I believe RJ said that he would probably go with the 12 mini. Gene had said that he would probably go for the 12 mini. So here in case, lots of reasons why people are going to kind of gravitate towards the 12 mini. Those that, don't absolutely need the Pro. And again, it also goes out there that there wasn't really a lot of reasons why you would have to get the Pro. You can't use phones as a classification of your status in life to say that's a reason to get the Pro series over the regular ones. No, it's not. Shout out to Sneed for coming in. Oscar as well. Welcome, guys. Welcome in. You can't use that. You can't be like, I gotta have the Pro because, like no one out there on the street cares if you have the Pro. I guarantee you can walk into McDonald's to go buy food. You can pull out your iPhone 12 Pro or Pro Max. No one's going to stop and be like, I'm sorry, sir, but would you like to order ahead of me? No one cares. All right. The status thing is not something you could throw into an argument on that. Yeah, there are additional more features in the iPhone 12 Pro that you would get, when it comes to the camera and cinematography. Obviously, that's what they emphasize in it, of being a pro model to the regular base models. Slightly bigger battery, you better have to. You like how I said that? You better have to. They have to. But there's not really like a huge reason that you just have to go with the pros over the base. And Apple's not that dumb to do that with their products. They will give a marginal reason, slightly marginal reason to get the pro. But they sure as hell don't like it if they were to build something that would overshadow, because they're trying to grab all demographics. They're trying to grab all those areas. They want to go into the people that, just don't have $1,000 to spend on the Pro Series. They want to go in for the business elite, the guy who's like graduated college and is 27 years old now and pretty much already bought his house up in the hills, 8-bedroom house with 4.5 bathrooms, and he has maids and butlers, and he can kick his feet up in his, $500 shoes, and drives a Porsche or a Ferrari to compensate for what he's packing below. Like, they want the pro for that guy, right? They want the pro for the Fortune 500 CEO. They want the pro for, the guy in Hollywood who's like, we missed a certain scene and production crew has left, but I have this great idea. Let's shoot it. Pulls out his iPhone, 12 Pro Max, puts it to a tripod and says, we're going to do this, or puts it on a freaking drone and says, we're going to do it this way, drive that car down that desert, and boom, he just uses his iPhone to capture that scene to put into the movie that we spend $15 to buy a ticket to go to the movie to watch. And would never know it was shot from an iPhone. Because then all the great editing work that comes from Hollywood, right? They want the pro for that guy. Yes, they want the pro for the guy who's like has a photography studio and then tells the girl, yeah, these are the different bikinis you're going to model today for our calendar. It's for that guy. But, for the guy who goes to work and punches in 9 to 5, gets a 1 hour or a half-hour lunch break, comes home and looks at his desk and sees that he's got an electric bill past due, got a cable bill past due. The iPhone 12 Pro is not for that guy, and Apple knows that. So they have the 12 mini. They have the regular 12. If the smaller form factor is not what you desire, then we have a bigger one. It ain't gigantic. It ain't 6.7-inch display. It's 6.1. It's good enough display. See, they got all their grounds covered. All of it. Right? They shocked other people who thought it was only the Pro Max that was going to get millimeter wave 5G. No, they gave it to all of them because they want everyone all those demographics to experience that type of network connectivity. So what does anyone have to lose getting the iPhone 12 mini? Some people who look at small things that are dainty as cute are going to gravitate towards it. Those people that saw the keynote, that saw all that briefcases unlocking to have Apple emphasize that this is the most amazing thing, are going to have that burned into their brain. Because, yeah, it is. It does bring the past and the future together. Like Cult of Max said, when they gave their reasons why that the iPhone 12 mini is more appealing to them than the iPhone 12, the iPhone Pros. It's because it brings yesteryear's idea of smaller is more manageable with today's modern look. Face ID, nearly all screen display. Boxed rectangle form factor. All that stuff plays a factor into it. That's why I feel like the iPhone 12 mini is going to sell. So I'll ask this again into chat. If you were given the money... Oh boy, I think I froze there for a second. Did I freeze? Is the stream going down? I think it might be. But I'll ask this question real quick. If you had your choice to buy, which would you buy? iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro, iPhone 12 Pro Max. Give reasons why. I'd love to hear everybody else's thoughts. I did freeze. Yes, but it's good now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I knew that because like everything kind of like refreshed on the viewfinder on StreamYard, so I figured I froze. But my question again was, if you were going to buy an iPhone, not if you're going to buy one, if you were, Which one would you choose? The 12 mini, 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max. And you're given an allowance of, without taxes, $1,099. Which one do you go for? Because I'll tell you my answer right now. My answer, I go for the 12 mini. I'll get the 64 gig variant because I can make the storage work for me. I spend $699 plus tax. So that means I got like about, close to $400 left over. Then I go buy me a nice case for it to keep it nice and protected. Then I go buy me like something to eat for lunch, something nice, I love eating at those American stop diners, you know what I mean? Like where you can get yourself a good basket of chili cheese fries and like a nice like burger with absolute just delicious melted cheese with all the works, lettuce, tomato, pickles, mayo, mustard, and ketchup, just a sloppy burger, one that you bite into and you got to have napkins nearby to wipe your face. Like, I'm going to go eat there with my new iPhone 12 mini and snap a photo of it and put it on Instagram for all the foodies out there to go look at the photo. And then I'm going to check myself over and look for some real cool stuff, like maybe some Star Wars memorabilia, like action figures, and maybe I'll buy me a couple of ebooks on my tablet so I can read some more. That's what I'm do if I'm given a $1,099 allowance. I'm not gonna go and spend it all on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. That's because I'm trying to be money conscious. Let's see. Between iPhone mini for the size because I love the compact phones, but I kind of want the Pro for the extra features. Okay, so like the extra camera features, because it really isn't a giant leap between the iPhone 12 and the Pro. That's my opinion. So the extra camera features, so the additional telephoto lens and the bigger camera sensors, because it does have bigger camera sensors compared to the 12 mini and the regular 12. Definitely going to go for the iPhone 12 mini 128. I like the one-handed use. Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those crazy things. So this is why I feel like the iPhone 12 mini is going to sell well. Okay. I feel like the iPhone 12 Pro Max is going to sell well because, of course, it's the maxed out. It's the biggest of the biggest. It's the best of the best. Has all the features of the 12 Pro. Bigger form factor, bigger battery. So the 2, which just so happens to be the 2 that's coming in November. Do you guys now see where I'm driving with this? The 2 most sought after iPhone 12s are going to come in November. The 2 less desired iPhone 12s are coming on the 23rd. The iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro are coming on the 23rd. They're going to be the less sought after ones. The more ones that are going to sell, by a lot of people's guesstimations, is the 12 mini and the 12 Pro Max. See, it's crazy. They're only giving $699 special for Verizon and AT&T customers. Yeah, they are being competitive with these iPhone 12s. But also, it's ramping up 5G. I think the iPhone 12 mini is the best overall deal. Exactly. There are some people who just don't care about the additional camera features. They know that the iPhone 12 is going to take a good photo and a good video. And for the things that they do, share stuff to Instagram, share stuff to Facebook, to Snapchat, and all that other stuff, it's going to cover all those bases. It's going to check those boxes. So, and then smaller form factor, one-handed use, right? Less dropping. Nothing is more uglier than seeing iPhone 12s that are broken. And I'm going to show you this because I see this all the time. All the time when I go on OfferUp. People on OfferUp, they'll sell iPhones here. And their iPhones are smashed. It's literally sad. So let's go for like iPhones nearby. And then I'll screen share this so you guys can see. But yeah, it gets pretty ugly. But they still sell. There's people who still buy like an iPhone XS with a smash back. Oh, look at this right here. iPhone 10 unlocked, $455. Somebody is going to buy this. Is it? Oh no, it's not. It's not broken. Never mind. I thought it was cracked. Never mind. Actually, that's in good condition. But still, I mean, it's weird. I'm gonna full screen this. It was weird. You got a couple of iPhone 7 Plus for $300. iPhone 8 64 gigs, $270. What is OfferUp gonna make me a liar now because they don't want people to see that people are selling broken iPhones? When you see them, it's just so bad. It really is. Sometimes you also gotta look too, because like the front screen is like all good, and then when you turn it around, the back is like cracked. Um, let me see if I can find one here, for example. Maybe I should just go with like let's go iPhone 10s because we'll do that. We'll search and then yeah, $440. That's wow, 500. iPhone 10s Max, so 64 gig, 550. Yeah, Apple retained its value. People are gonna buy these, trust me. Some people might be like, "Oh my god, man, they're asking too much for the phone." People will buy these. Can we get one with a broken back, or has they all been sold already? It says, oh no. When I see them, I just think it's very, very like heart wrenching. Like, oh my god, it's broken. So feel so bad for it. There we go. Well, 10s Max, and someone actually bought it. Sold. Nah, I ain't kidding with nobody. So let's see. Let's go to the next photo here. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong page. Broken. Look at the back of that. It's totally damaged. And someone bought it. I wonder how much they bought it for. What was that? What was the listing price? It had to be like super cheap. Can't see. Cracked on both sides, but still works perfectly. Open to any service, not locked. No iCloud lock either, ready to use. So someone's like, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. I'll get the screen replaced. They had to get the whole housing replaced. You just, the glass backs on these things, you don't just get them replaced. You got to replace the housing. It's absolutely bad. I think the iPhone 12 mini is the best overall deal. Gene agrees with that. Yep, yep. Would you guys buy this? Let's say this guy sold it for $300. Would you guys buy this? Oh, it does say 200? I didn't even see that. I'm totally missing it. I am blind today. Huh. What do you know? Oh, duh, I'm so stupid. Right there. I'm like trying to look for the price anywhere else. Someone asked 200. Would you buy this for $200? iPhone 10s Max. Would you buy for 200? $200, man. That's insane. Let's see what else kind of like ridiculous things can we find on the iPhone market. Oh, of course, yeah. Cricket stores and Boost Mobile stores, they come on OfferUp to like put ads to try to draw traffic into their stores. Let's see what else. What else do we get? What else do we get? Come on. iPhone 10s Max factory unlocked, 64 gigabyte, $220. Why is it $220? Is it Smash 2? Oh yeah, it's got a crack from like right there to right there. That looks bad, and it's got an actual pressure crack point right there at the edge. Side of the phone, side of the phone. Front. Hey, front is good, but the back is cracked. They want $220 for this. This is where I tell people, if you buy an iPhone like that, skin it. Totally skin it. And then no one will see the crack. Sure, they won't see that it's a glass back because it'll have a skin on it, but skin it and then put a case around it. You'll be all right. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much it for today's podcast. I really appreciate everybody for coming in and hanging out with me for this past hour. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna give a shout out to Art Dog, Oscar, CV Tech, Kathy, my dear. Thank you for coming in as well. Sneed, we had Caleb in here. Who else? CF. Thank you so much for popping in. The member himself, Gene. Gene was in here hanging out with us too as well. Thomas Ryan for hanging out and those questions. Isaac Diaz for stopping in. Make sure I get everybody. Jose for popping in too. Riverdale Tales for stopping in as well. Carlos S. Tech for coming in. Yep. Appreciate all you guys for coming in here, hanging out with me during this episode. Thank you guys so much for the Friday Junior episode. Closes out tomorrow's Aloha Friday podcast. Got something a little bit different that I'm going to be doing. We're going retro tech. I talked about this, that I think that, that Latrell and them should do something like this, because he's got like a lot of stuff, and Wolfer's got like a museum in his house. So shout out to Subwoofer. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I usually wing it. If you guys did not know this by now, my podcast subject topics, I wing it. I find out what's going on during the day or in the morning when I wake up. If there's like any specific news that needs to be talked about, I touch on those points. Or I just do one based on my thoughts on previous devices that were just recently released. I wing it. That's why I like chicken wings. Shameless joke. But yeah, I love you guys very much for hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. You guys are clutch. You guys know what to do. Smash the like button. Please do so. It helps circulate the video across YouTube. That way, more and more people can find me. More and more people can hang out with us, and we can, I mean, hey, if this thing ever started getting to like 100 views, I'd probably extend the podcast like 2 hours. But yeah, we're like close to an hour and a half right now. You guys are good. You guys are golden. Be safe out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, Aloha.